What's up, everybody? Welcome to Bios3 Raw TV. Raw TV, right, Brady? Tell him, Raw TV. Today we got a little story time, and Brady's excited. You excited for story time? That's his excited face. It's a lot like his other face, right? Do you even know what story time is? Okay, story time is when I tell a story that's something that's happened to me in the past. Kind of like something that's happened to you in the past, like what? Like your bone got stuck under the couch? Some shit like that? Okay, you go play, okay? Go play? All right, go play. All right, good boy. All right, we got to tell the story time. Go play, buddy. All right, we haven't done a story time in quite a while. And I thought of this while I was driving back home from actually moving my stuff from Aaron's house, or from my house to Aaron's house. And it's going to start, let's see, back in maybe 2000, I don't know. It goes back to like the late 90s, early 2000s. And I had already had the heroin problem, the drug problem. And steroids were still a big thing where I was at. And, you know, my friends would hook me up. I'd hook them up. We'd have different people that could get us different things. And a buddy of mine had secured supposedly a bunch of gear. Another one of my friends had needed some stuff. And he said, I need this, this, and this. I said, okay, give me the money. I'll get it for you. Got the money. I gave it to the guy, and he got busted. He got arrested. Now, it was all over the papers, all over the news. It wasn't like, you know, it was fake. He got popped with all the fucking money, all the roids. Everything was gone. So this person, this other guy calls me up and says, hey, man, you said, you know, you owe me this much money. I said, dude, first of all, I don't know you fucking jack shit. If you're playing in this fucking game, you need to realize that you could lose money. You know, I lost a lot more than you did and some of the other guys didn't. We're all lucky that, you know, this other guy who got busted isn't fucking ratting us out right now. So, you know, be happy that you're fucking out of jail right now because you're involved with all this bullshit. And he told me flat out, he said, you know, I'm going to fucking break your dog's legs. My dog Lucky at the time. I'm going to fucking, you know, cut your girl's fucking throat. He said all this fucking bullshit. And I said to him, I said, okay. I said, why don't you meet up with me? He said, what do you mean? I said, meet up with me. I said, when I'm done beating the fucking shit out of you and putting you in the fucking hospital, then we're clear. We're clean. My slate's clean, right? And he's like, yeah, fuck you, blah, blah, blah. Now, you know, not being of sound mind at that time, I contacted my heroin dealer at the time. His name was Mitch. Mitch was a convicted felon. Did time for, I don't remember what it was. Battery, I don't remember what it was. And he was like an older guy, maybe in his mid-40s. I'm almost as old as he is now. His mid-40s, a biker, long fucking mustache, long beard. And Mitch used to always tell me, he would tell me, I wish you didn't do this shit. He's like, because you're really cool and I like you. And I like to hang out with you and be friends, but not, you know, like this, you know. And I would just kind of like brush it off because he was my heroin dealer. And I knew that this was a guy to go to that if I was in some kind of trouble to do something big, he'd have a way to do it. So I went to his house, and I remember him telling me about something called a zip gun. And a zip gun is like a man-made thing that you know, a handmade thing that you make in prison that fires one bullet, then you disassemble it. It's made from like things like a piece of little pipe, elastic, a fucking screw, like random shit. And you take it apart and throw different pieces of it in different places as you leave. And, you know, essentially there's no fucking gun, there's no weapon, there's no proof. So I went to his house, and I called him up. I said, you know, can I come by? And he thought I was coming by to pick up some heroin. And I went to his house, and I said, I need your help with something. So he said, okay, what do you want? And he was really cool about everything. So he listened to me. He's one of the friends that I had that, you know, at this time when, you know, my life was in shit. And I said, I need you to help me build a zip gun. And he just looked at me and he said, for what? Because he knew. And he's like, man, Jerry's fucked up. So I need to build a zip gun. I explained to him the situation, what the guy said. He said, look, first of all, the guy's not going to break your dog's leg. It's fucked up. I said, I don't know. You don't know. And he said, okay, let's just say by chance he is. He's like, you go meet this guy and you fucking shoot this guy and you kill him. You get caught because, you know, there's a 50-50 chance you're going to get caught. You go to jail for the rest of your life. You know, even if you get out, you're going to be so fucking old, it's not going to make any difference. And I said, it doesn't fucking matter. I need to protect myself, my girl, my dog, and fuck this guy. You know, he's fucking, you know, and I just kept going off. And obviously, you could tell I was not, you know, in the right frame of mind. And he sat me down. And he said, look, go home and sleep on it. Sleep on it tonight. Come back here tomorrow morning, first thing in the morning. If you still want to go through with this, I'll help you build a zip gun. I'll go with you. We'll take care of it together, and we'll get it fucking done. You'll be safe. You'll be fine. And I was like, oh, okay, you know, okay, whatever. And I went home. You know, I got high. I passed out. I went to sleep. I woke up in the morning sober, you know, kind of starting to detox a little bit. A million things racing through my head. Knowing that, you know, if I showed up with this guy, he's probably got a knife, a gun, whatever the fuck he's going to be. He's not going to fight a fair fight. He's wanting to hurt me too. And I said, I don't want to fucking do this. you know, I don't want to do this. This is way wrong. Like, you know, what if this could be talked out? What if we could arrange something? What if, you know, because I was kind of friends with this guy before. Like, we were friends through the steroid circle, so we weren't really friends or considered a friend. The guy that, you know, wanted to fight me. So I went back to Mitch's house, and I fucking knocked on the door, and he said, well, what do you want to do? And he had this very serious look on his face. Like, I think he thought that I was going to want to go through with it. And I said, you know what? You're right. You know, I'll figure out another way. And, you know, eventually what wound up happening was, you know, me and this kid wound up working things out with this guy. Well, and we were, you know, in our mid-20s. Wound up working this stuff out to the point where he realized that, you know, my buddy had lost, you know, thousands of dollars. I had lost thousands of dollars. He was going to fucking be, you know, charged with, you know, going over state lines with narcotics or whatever the fuck it was, a class 3 substance or whatever. He was charged with the drugs. He was charged with the money. He was charged with trafficking, charged with dealing. He was charged with all these things. He was in a fucking shitload of trouble. And all you had to do was open his mouth and fucking, then this other guy would be in trouble. I'd be in trouble. We'd all be fucked. And, you know, he kind of counted his blessings and said, you know, it's only $1,200 and, you know, this whole thing has gone too far. We should all just cut our fucking losses and et cetera. And that's how we fucking ended it, like that. And I look back and I say, you know what? That convicted felon, Mitch, who had a time in my life where fucking everybody else had turned their back on me, you know, who had been to prison himself, you know, involved, obviously, I mean, he was a rough guy, he'd been involved in some violence. He knew how to make a fucking zip gun, for Christ's sakes. You know, had the, you know, decency, I don't know what you would call it, have the smarts, have the brains enough to talk me out of it because I was going to ruin my life. You know, and most people, if you saw him, you know, you would have looked at him and said, man, there's a fucking guy. Like, I don't want to talk to that guy. I don't want to mess with him. He's a fucking bad motherfucker. And here's a guy that literally, judging by his exterior, he would be judged by that. But his interior was something completely different. He was actually loyal. He was actually a fucking nice guy. Yeah, he sold drugs, which is obviously a bad fucking thing. But at the same time, like, he knew where to draw the line where he saw someone that he actually gave a shit about was going to ruin their life. And didn't just go through with it and fucking, you know, do whatever I wanted to do just because, oh, I'll be loyal to my buddies. He fucking talked me out of it. So, you know, I'll be forever grateful for that instance. And, you know, to this day, I look back at it and I'm like, I can't believe how close I came to fucking shooting that kid. Like, I mean, it's really, really, really fucking close. So the idea or the take-home messages from this is sleep on it. When you get a fucking rash idea in your head, sleep on it. And B, don't judge a book by its cover. BiosTraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.biostraining.com is a blog. It's the Don't Judge a Book by Its Cover bicep, and we're out.